There we go.
Opa.
Whoopa. It's been 2.5 weeks, so there's a bit to talk about today, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's see who joins. And also, let me see who I'm going to send this to so they can join.
That works.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Making all the sounds. Just boop, boop.
Beep boops. You gotta make sure all the beeps and the boops are good to go. Everything's copacetic, as I like to say.
Let's see. Boop.
Dean King James, 89. What's up? What's up?
That's Freddie.
Freddie.
Freddie. Let's see who joins today.
Today, tonight.
Okay, that's a lot of people. Let's see who joins out of all those people. All right, here we go.
You want to get right into it?
Let's get right into it. I'm right next to my station today, but like you get a cooler backdrop today. You get some Evil Dead, you get a little bit of Jason Voorhees, some of the horror stuff, some Star Wars behind me. So
Got a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. A little bit of everything.
So
let's start this thing up.
First on the docket, Ezra Miller.
Okay, so I've sent you some articles. You sent me some articles. First and foremost, the allegations, because again, I don't know everything that's really happening or not. You know, the allegations are he is with the Iron Eyes girl, as well as with other kids on one of his ranches or properties that has a bunch of weapons on it. He's unstable, he's going crazy, and he's mocking law enforcement right now with the whole thing. Then on top of that, he's mocking the parents. Then on top of that, he's gone off the deep end. He just got fired off of Warner Brothers DC. So he will not be coming back for any more DC projects. So this outing of Flashpoint's going to be his last outing with DC. So, what are your thoughts?
I mean, first of all, like you said, it's allegations, and it's unfortunate that we've gotten to this point. And we've, like, before all this, like, it started off as, just to think where it started. It started off him throwing a chair, getting drunk, belligerent in a bar in Hawaii.
Well, those are facts. Those aren't allegations.
Well, okay, yeah. Those are facts. Now we get to allegations where it's, like you said, you're holding up 3 people surrounded by guns, narcotics, everything you could think of from here to Bangladesh. And, dude, like, because you have to look at it from, obviously, our lens. You're supposed to be the Flash. The Flash is one of the most hope-filled characters in DC. And you just take it and run with it, and you make it this crazy, outlandish, bizarre. Like, you're totally taken away from the movie. You're totally taken away from the movie. Not to mention what's going to happen.
Right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, and not to mention what's probably going to happen with the Harry Potter series, the Fantastic Beasts series. I don't think they've said anything pertaining to that movie specifically, but you have to think that we're going to hear something about that sooner rather than later.
Well, I think that's all the same studio, no?
Well, they said, I just seen
Warner Brothers owns Harry Potter and all that stuff. So, yeah, he's fired off Warner Brothers altogether. So he's gone.
Yes. Okay. So I thought it was just Flash, but it is Warner Brothers properties. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and Jesse made a good choice. Made a good point. He's like, there are better choices, and life just got to him. Look, yeah, we hold these actors at a high standard, and then we go ahead and say, oh, you're playing this character, so you have to embody this character and all this other stuff. And it's not always the case. People, they're people. You know what I mean? Mental illness, addiction, all that stuff, they all play a part in these people's roles in life. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate, yeah. He made choices that led him to be in this predicament, you know? And the title and the role is hard to maintain. Yeah, no, I agree. But here's the aspect of things. Look, Grant Gustin, he's been the Flash for what? The better part of 8 years now?
Yeah, like 7, 8 years.
7, 8 years.
Yeah.
And there are other actors that are more capable of playing Barry Allen because he's more Wally West than he is Barry Allen. We've talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Hello. But like we've talked about this. He's more Wally West than he is Barry Allen. And his embodiment of the character is cool, but it's still, like I said, Wally West at the end of the day, And he's not always like there. He's not, his screws are loose. Like he's not the proper actor to play this character. So getting rid of him ultimately is not a bad decision. I think there are better actors that are better equipped to play Wally West. Barry Allen. And they can easily replace him if they do a couple of reshoots with this Flash movie. And I think it's inevitable at this point, you know what I mean? And just like him, Amber Heard. Amber Heard's another one. She just got fired.
Yeah.
Her entire role has been taken out of yeah, well, Jesse just made a point here. Taco 19. I wish for your Instagram. I'm sorry. 1061. Grant Gustin said he didn't want to do it either. But yeah, I get it. It's a big role. It's a big shoe to fill. But it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, there's going to be an actor that wants to do it that's going to keep their head clear, stay out of trouble. And if they do get in trouble, hopefully they won't make it into the spotlight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately, these people are just that. They're people. They're actors and they're people. That's all they do.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's easy to forget that, especially like you said, looking at it from the lens in which we look at it from.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to forget that, like you said, these people are people, and it's very apparent that he has some type of mental illness that he needs to deal with and he needs to confront. But I hope that and that's the other thing. Like, it's different when it's just you and you're doing stuff to you, and it's obviously it's sad. You hate to see somebody take themselves out, but the part where you get other people involved and now you're endangering other people is the part where it's like that's where it becomes highly and very unnecessary. So it's just unfortunate all the way around. And like you said, there's always going to be somebody to play the role. There's always going to be somebody to play the Flash. And I agree with you with some subtle reshoots at the end of the movie or somewhere in there. You can just flashpoint himself right out of there, rewrite himself right out of there, and then see where they want to go from there.
Well, Jesse here, he also made a good point right now, which was Robert Downey Jr. was pretty much the same aspect. Yeah, I don't think he ever kidnapped anybody or kept them at ransom. You know what I mean? But people forget that Robert Downey Jr. had a very checkered past, filled with drugs, abuse, mental illness, all this other stuff, and he brought it back together and he became Iron Man. You know what I mean? And ultimately kicked off the MCU. You know? Can I say that's going to happen with Grant Gustin? I mean, with Ezra Miller? No. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a very different take on this person. The addiction was real, yeah. The addiction was real, yes. But at the end of the day, again, WB made him be accountable for everything he's done, as well as Amber Heard. Both those two, which are unfortunately mostly WB DC actors, they're being held accountable for all the things they've done. You know what I mean? And they're being put in the spotlight because of it. You know what I mean? And they lost their jobs. So ultimately, that's what happens. You screwed the pooch, and It is what it is. Now, something that Evie said here, if I can scroll down, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, I can scroll down as well.
I can't scroll for some reason.
Okay.
Go ahead, read it out to me because I can't see
Yep.
anything right now.
It says here, Ivy snaps, I think at one point for celebrities, mental health checks need to become mandatory in order for them to participate in a film. The amount of pressure that goes into this career is incredibly demanding.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. I mean, but then you have these actors that are method actors, you know?
And we've heard some actors speak out against that.
Yeah, exactly. We've heard actors speak out against it and say that method acting is horrible. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, actors have a lot of weight on their shoulders. They literally have to have something wrong. Not wrong, but they literally have to be able to switch back and forth through their mental psyche, to play these characters. You're putting yourself in somebody else's shoes that doesn't even exist. Unless it's a biopic, then it exists. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you said, you're putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, and you have to, like, you're acting, you have to make it look real. So there's a part of your psyche that I feel like you could probably easily lose yourself if you're working on this role and you're working on that role. You don't give yourself any time to slow down and really decompress. Yeah, I can see you losing yourself in the business, losing yourself in that world.
Damn. Jesse took the words right out of my mouth. Look at the Joker. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say Heath Ledger. Perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very good one. Joaquin Phoenix said he really took the role to another level too when he was playing the Joker. Look at how skinny he got. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, in closing with this subject on the podcast, I wish them the best in their their psyche and fixing what they're doing with themselves and their mind and their whole mental illness, addiction, everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that about Amber Heard because Amber Heard's a different animal.
Yeah, I was about to say we can say that about one of them, but the other one, I mean,
Yeah,
I hope don't wish no ill will on anybody, but
Yeah, I mean Amber still is like gaslighting the situation. So Amber, whatever. But with Ezra, I hope he gets his shit together and he just brings it back in. But then again, you hear this whole thing that he was grooming her since she was 12.
Yeah, so
he's a pedo, so I can't even sympathize with him either. He's gonna lose it, and you know what? I was gonna go with the route that I hope they get better, but this deserved at this point. So,
well said, sir. Well said for the both of us. All
next
right.
up on the docket.
Next up on the docket, Kevin Feige, Phase 5.
So, there's a lot of talk. He says he's gonna have everything planned out in the next couple weeks. Phase 4 is ending next year. I'm sure Phase 5 is gonna kick in strong. Quote me. We're gonna probably see April 5th or April 4th of 2024 a Fantastic Four movie. I just had this conversation with you the other day.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's sounds like a cool order. Somebody just said crunchy beef burrito with extra meat and cheese. Cool, man.
Go
Sure.
for it.
Yeah. But I do believe that we're going to get a Fantastic Four movie come April of 2024. For sure. There's no doubt in my mind. I think they're just waiting for that. And that's probably going to be what kicks off Phase 5.
Think so?
I think so. And then Kevin Feige, he just said he went away to a retreat to go ahead and plan out the next 10 years. Or the next phase, rather.
Mm-hmm.
It's already been said that Tom Holland's returning for another trilogy. It's been said we're going to get Kraven the Hunter, which I'm not really, seeing.
Well, that's more Sony.
But that's Sony, too, and that has nothing really to do with Kevin Feige, but it is. At some point, it's going to go ahead and merge over. You know what I mean? Because we have the Vulture crossing over into Morbius and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Black Panther is Phase 4. Yep.
Mm.
I think that's going to be one of the last ones for Phase 4.
Yeah, because it's
Yep.
in November.
Then we got Namor coming out, which is probably Phase 5. We have
Namor's getting solo film.
Namor's been talked about getting a solo film. He just got casted. We got the actor. We have
Oh, like that boy Lewis said, Secret Invasion. Yeah, we got Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. We got Thor: Love and Thunder, which is Phase 4. Which
Mhm.
I can't wait to go see that movie. It's in 2 Fridays. So
Yeah, I've heard great things, seen great things about
yeah,
it.
all I hear is the same thing. It's amazing across the board, and it's gonna be supposedly it's the best villain the MCU's ever seen, with Gore the God Butcher. Supposedly it's also they mentioned the Illuminati. Well, not Thor, but obviously Doctor Strange,
Mm-hmm.
which is already on Disney Plus. It just dropped 2 days ago.
Yep.
So if you haven't watched it, please watch that movie. If you're a Sam Raimi fan, you love horror, this is the first official Marvel horror movie. It's so good. It's so good. Sam Raimi's all over that. That directorial approach is super on point. As a matter of fact, I hope that Sam Raimi stays at the helm for the rest of the Doctor Strange films.
I agree. I would like to see that.
I think,
I would pay to see that actually.
and then if we go into the mythical world and the mystical world and the horror world, I wouldn't mind seeing Midnight Suns, which we keep on talking about every time. But
There we go.
they've already started filming Werewolf by Night for the Halloween special. I think there's a still out there of the werewolf costume.
Yeah.
What else?
Are we getting the James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy? Is that we getting the holiday special this year? Or is that
Yep,
next
holiday specials this year.
this year?
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is the end of this year, no?
I feel like that's next year.
Or beginning of next year? Yeah.
It might be beginning of next year because we also got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I think that's this year.
Yep.
Unless, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this year. So yeah, maybe Guardians kicks off Phase 5, but I don't. I mean, we're gonna have Adam Warlock, so maybe.
Oh, that was a good one. Lewis said, that boy Lewis said, we need an X-Men versus Avengers. And I fully agree with this.
Yes, wholeheartedly.
Yep. We're going to X-Men soon. There's going to be a third Guardians. Yes, there is going to be a third Guardians of the Galaxy.
And
My
it's gonna
dog
be
just
the
chimed in.
last
He's like, what? I was like, yeah.
one.
No, yeah, definitely. That's the next one, and that's also going to wrap up the entire Guardians of this roster.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a couple of them die, I think. This team's going to get closed off. I'm pretty sure Batista's not coming back. He already said he's done with Guardians.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's coming back. I don't think the actress who plays Nebula is coming back.
I think Rocket's going to die.
Really?
I think that's my bet. I think Rocket's going to die. I think if we're placing bets right now, I think Rocket's dead. I think Groot's going to stay. I think Nebula's probably going to die. Gamora's probably going to stay. Star-Lord's probably going to stay because Chris Pratt doesn't want to leave. Oh, you think Chris Pratt's done? I don't know, man.
Oh,
I don't know.
great question because we don't know we don't know anything about his contract, right? And he hasn't said anything. I mean, we know this is the last.
He's not really open about that. If he does certain interviews, it is what it is. Like, he says it in passing.
Yeah,
And he's a troll, so we never really know.
because you got to think he just finished the Jurassic World. He just finished that. I know he's got that Mario project coming out. I don't know how.
Yeah, I'm not really.
I don't know how
I'm
in depth they're going to be with that. I don't know if they're planning on building something that he has to be a part of. So maybe
believe it or not, I think Chris Hemsworth is going to drop out of the Thor movies join the Guardians team. You know what? Chris Pratt could be done because Chris Hemsworth wants to keep on playing Thor, Odin's son.
Yes.
And what a better way to pass the torch to Jane Foster. She takes the mighty Thor role. He becomes Thor, Odin's son, Guardian of the Galaxy. Boom! You got a whole new trilogy for Guardians of the Galaxy with Thor and Korg and new team. You know, that's
Dude, take my money. Take my money.
I'd be down for that, man.
You
I'd be down
just
for
totally convinced. If I don't get that now I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, Hemsworth won't leave. He even says he's like, I don't want to leave. As long as they keep having me play Thor, I'll do it.
Yeah. And then
Now,
Taika could definitely do Guardians if he wants.
well, that's what I was gonna say. What would you say to? So Taika Waititi is going to be taking over a trilogy for Star Wars in the next coming years.
Yep.
Right? How crazy would it be? Yeah, that'd be cool if they introduced Beta Ray Bill.
Finally, Hercules as well.
Hercules would be amazing. He's also a Guardian. So I mean, in passing, he's been a Guardian before. He's also been an Avenger. So, but how cool would it be if we got Taika Waititi not just doing Star Wars, but since James Gunn is stepping down from the directorial chair for Guardians, why won't we get Taika to take over? You took the words right out of my mouth. Nova, Jesse jumped in. Bring Nova into the team. Bring Chris Hemsworth's Thor into the team. Bring Korg into the team. Bring Hercules into the team. That would be a crazy setup. Leave Gamora. Adam Warlock. I'm sorry. You've been mentioning Adam Warlock for the last few comments. Lewis has been saying Adam Warlock. He's been teased. He's already been casted. So bring Adam Warlock into the team. We got a whole new Guardian setup.
And that would make sense because, not to say, obviously, that team that you just listed is more powerful than the original Guardians team that we got. And that would make sense for the simple fact of, like I've been saying it, they're definitely going more mystic. We've seen that with Doctor Strange, and we've seen that with Moon Knight. They're definitely going more cosmic with Thor, even Miss Marvel. I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but it's really nice. So that would make total sense to do that. Like you said, Korg, Thor, Nova. I don't know. They probably won't do Hercules because I feel like you'll leave Gamora. I don't think they do Hercules. And then maybe Groot stays, but everybody else, like Mantis, Drax.
I think Mantis is done. I think her contract's over.
Yeah, I think Mantis done. Drax is done. Chris Pratt could be done with that idea that you're pitching.
More celestial action. I believe you're right, man. Jesse jumped in with a more celestial action. I think we should be seeing some of those Celestials in there.
Yeah, like that. And then he also said, the Eternals. Yeah, which we don't know how that's going to go because now they introduced Star Fox. So, and Pip the Troll.
Yeah.
That could also be.
Where's the Watcher, though? So, okay, Jesse asked a very good question about where's the Watcher. Let's see. My guess is that Secret Wars is going to be a mixture of both regular Secret Wars that we've gotten in the past and Fear itself. And it's going to lead into Fear itself storyline, which is where the Watcher dies. Nick Fury kills him in the book. And he has a way of pretty much controlling the new Avengers, or whatever the Avengers are at that point, by letting them know all of their very big, deepest, darkest secrets, which also is how Thor lost Mjolnir, how Jane Foster became the mighty Thor. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or what led into it, not how she became, but what led into it. And he went to this whole soul-searching thing. He had Stormwielder, all this other stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a very good possibility. I think the fact that we are going to see a whole new Guardians team in the new near future
Mm-hmm.
and see a whole new Avengers team in the near future. It's not out of the realm of thinking, hey, this could change it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
going the route of Fear itself.
That would be that'd be nice. I think they're probably going more because we also forget that, like you said, we got
Wait,
Kang.
I'm gonna pause you right there for a second. Jesse said, "I want to see Unworthy Thor." I think we've been seeing Unworthy Thor since Endgame.
Yeah,
So not even Endgame. I want to say since Infinity War. That's been the Unworthy Thor aspect of things. So I think we're already seeing a version of that. And I think it's going to continue being that since the Mighty Thor is already there. Yeah, it definitely can be. It definitely can be. Damn, Lewis said Unworthy Thor is Thor 1 and 2.
or 1 and 2.
I like the Dark World. So I don't know.
You do?
I do. I'm a fan of that movie.
That's fair.
Ragnarok I think is the best out of the trilogy. The original trilogy, because now is the new movie. But yeah, man. I do like the Dark World. So Leif is one of my best friends. He's gonna be back in town in a couple weeks. He just said, "Where's Beta Ray Bill at?" I think they're gonna introduce him in the next, not Thor movie, but the next Guardians movie.
I don't know. I think we could maybe see him in the Thor movie because we already seen him teased in Thor Ragnarok. So we already seen that, and
Yeah,
he's
because it
got
was that big tire.
yeah, yeah, Sakaar. I'm pretty sure they returned to Sakaar in this movie. It looks like
It does look like they jump back into it with Sakaar. Yeah.
so, and you got you already have Stormbreaker. I think this could be the movie. I don't know if we get Hercules. I mean, it only makes sense, and I'm hoping that we do. And just like you said, 'cause he's also been an Avenger.
Ooh, but he was also a champion in the contest of champions.
He's also a champion.
Ooh. Yeah, I could see that happening.
So,
Who
fingers.
knows if that whole scene where Thor is being held captive, if that whole scene right there is him going up against Hercules, and that's a big reveal for the movie. Very much like in Civil War, Ant-Man and Spider-Man were the big reveals. What if we get Hercules?
Who do you think would have who would play him?
Kevin Sorbo. I'm just kidding. Not really. Oh, that one right over your head.
Yeah.
Kevin Sorbo was Hercules in the 90s. I just showed my age.
Nice.
So
Deep.
I think I can't think of an actor. I
See,
really
I would
can't.
like to see Henry Cavill, but I just want to see Henry Cavill as Superman. So it's like I almost don't want to see it because I feel like that closes the door on that. Like I want to see it to be nice, but then that's closing the door on something that's like way more important. So
I mean, I can definitely see Henry Cavill playing Hercules. I can see Henry Cavill playing a lot of characters in the world. I can see him playing James Bond. I can see him playing Hercules. I can see him playing Captain Britain. But I think that Captain Britain role is about to be taken over. And
yeah,
I think it's going to be Peggy Carter. Just a different version of her again.
yeah,
Because even though they mentioned Captain Britain in Endgame, when he's there, he sees her. Captain America sees her through the glass door, and she's like talking when they went back in time. But back in time in a different universe, she mentions Braddock, which is Captain Britain. So I mean, dude, I don't know. And he has the look, man. He's the English version of Christopher Evans or Chris Evans. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Spoiler: if you haven't seen Endgame by now, I don't know what to tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah. You
That's
are very
years.
hard.
But yeah, I think he is Bond though. So because Daniel Craig's over with Bond.
Or somebody else, another actor that popped in my head. I forget his last name. The one that played Deathstroke in Snyderverse.
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
Manganiello.
Yes.
That guy playing who?
Hercules.
I think he's too old.
You think so?
I think he's too old. He could definitely play Deathstroke because Deathstroke has an older feel to him. He has an older look to him.
Right, right.
Whereas in Hercules is a young guy. Mid-30s, max. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like prime. Yeah.
If Henry Cavill really wanted to play Hercules, he could murk that, but it would be a very young,
Oh, easy.
not young, but it'd be a very mature Hercules, not a young Hercules.
Right.
Said it right now, yeah, we need new blood. I agree. We need new blood in the Marvel Universe, but
Yeah.
keep it good. Keep it fresh. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they pretty much 95% of the time they hit the mark on who they cast. So
I can't think of who they didn't hit the mark with.
Captain Marvel.
I stand corrected. Okay. Next. What are we talking about next? You're absolutely right.
That's why I was gracious with 95%. I didn't want to be too specific, but I gave them a leeway at 95.
Whoa. They okay. They made up for it with Monogram Bow.
They did.
And yeah, even though I didn't mention it in this podcast, we've talked about it before. The Young Avengers are soon coming. So, with Tom Holland probably leading the team. So,
You think so? You don't think they're gonna? You don't think they're gonna let him do solo Spidey for this next trilogy?
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna do a solo Spidey, but he's probably gonna be part of some team.
Some rendition? Yeah,
Yeah, he's still an Avenger.
that's true.
Oh, wait a minute, no.
Boy, you gotta think Falcon's probably gonna lead it.
No. So, spoiler alert, turn it off for like 2 seconds. Cover your ears. But in No Way Home, they erased everybody's memory. So nobody knows he's Spider-Man.
Right.
So,
That's where I was going.
so yeah, never mind. He's not an Avenger anymore. He's completely on his own. You're absolutely right.
So
Oh, Wiccan would be sick. We've already seen Wiccan and his brother in the series, so.
yeah. If we get Wicked and Speed, that'd be nice. Like you said, we got the Miss Marvel series. I've seen the first 2 episodes. It looks really nice. Looks fun. Reminds me of that, Breakfast Club kind of vibe. So next up on the docket, oh yeah, their rendition or quote unquote of Kraven the Hunter. How we're supposed to.
I just mentioned that before, huh? So
Yeah.
I think Kraven's gonna be a flop. I hate to say it, Kraven I think is gonna be the equivalent again of another Morbius. Which, by the way, I saw it the other day in passing.
Uh huh.
Okay, it's gonna take me a second to verbalize what I think about it. The acting was not bad.
Okay.
The editing was garbage. The directing was garbage. The plot of the movie is Morbius, like the story, for sure. The pacing is what just destroyed everything. So,
Yeah.
to close off what I was about to say, that pause, I could see why it flopped. It had good points to it. There were some good moments, but the movie was bad overall.
Okay.
And I think that's what's going to happen with Kraven as well. And let's see, it's just like Dr. Fate. Not many know who he is. So Kraven will flop. I agree as well. Why? Because Kraven the Hunter is a very powerful character in the Spider-Man lore. He's messed up Spider-Man. He's had very good encounters with Spider-Man. He's had very good stories. He has a very deep and rich story with him where I don't want to give away too much of the comic, but I'm just going to say Kraven kills himself because he can't take Spider-Man out. essentially. So the fact they're going the route of, oh, we're gonna have a Craven that's an animal lover. You can't be an animal lover and a hunter. Sorry, not well. Depends on your scope of things, but you can't be a I want to be an animal rights activist, which is what the route that they're going for, and just be a trophy hunter at the same time. It doesn't work that way.
I mean, I really don't want it to flop because Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel character, and Kraven's one of the cooler villains that he has, along with Doc Ock, and it's gonna suck. And I love Aaron Taylor Johnson. I love Aaron Taylor Johnson, and sometimes it doesn't come down to the actor. The actor can only do so much. Like you said, the acting was good in Morbius, but the directing led them astray and really tore up the movie. But yeah, man, you can't have this Craven Ventura that
Craven Ventura.
yeah, you can't. Because like you said, I guess it depends on your scope. But he walks around with a lion vest. I don't think somebody who loves animals walk around wearing them.
I'm quoting me right now. Quote me right now. They're not going to go that route with the movie. He's not going to wear a lion's vest. He's probably going to be one of these like chic white shirt, halfway buttoned down, like multimillionaire that walks in.
Oh,
He's in.
don't make him a civilian, please no.
Yeah, that's what's going to go around. And Jesse made a good point. He's not really that known unless you really read the books. You have to be a fan of Spider-Man, and very much like Doctor Fate. Doctor Fate, for those that don't know, is the DC equivalent of Doctor Strange, except with a more magic instead of mystical route. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that went down the wrong hole. All right, what's next on the docket?
Next, we got Discovery's plans for the DCEU.
Well, I can tell you one thing that they already did, or they already have lined up, is they're going to keep Ezra and Amber fired. So that's for sure. Now, the route that they're going to go with the movies and shows and all that stuff, they've already talked about bringing back Henry Cavill and focusing on him as the anchor for everything. Correct?
Yep.
I wouldn't mind them keeping it that way, bringing back Batfleck, because, like I've said, and you've mentioned as well, he's my favorite visual Batman. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So seeing him on the screen again with proper direction, proper editing, proper everything, I think Ben Affleck will kill it. Right? Again. I think they're going to go more grounded. More lighthearted but serious, and keep their universes separate. Like, they're never going to cross over. So I think the Joker's going to have his own universe. I think the Batman's going to have his own universe. I think Shazam will be in the main universe with Earth 1, meaning Batfleck, Henry Cavill, Barry Allen, or Wally West, whatever route they go now with. Aquaman, Suicide Squad. I think it's going to be all the same cohesive world. And then have their offshoots. So, like, the Batman, the Joker, which, by the way, real quick, Lady Gaga's been in talks with Warner Brothers to play Harley Quinn in the next movie.
Yep.
She's a good actress. You know? I don't see it. I don't see it. First and foremost, if they go down that route, I have a feeling that what they're going to end up by doing with this Joker movie layout is going to be all mental illnesses and how they go about it and how they cope. If they go the route of Harley Quinn, it's going to be how to cope with codependency meets abuse meets stuff like that, domestic violence and all that stuff. Because let's face it, the Joker treats Harley Quinn like shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
there's really two ways around it.
Jesse goes, I support the Snyderverse. I'm 1,000,000% with you. Schneider
Oh yeah.
is the best take. I wish they would edit it better, which they did great with the Snyder Cut. You know what I mean? I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the best. But going forward, do you think we're going to get another Snyder Cut or another Snyderverse take? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's a one and done. Because the fact that we even got it to begin with is like amazing. Like when if ever, have we gotten two of the same movies?
Yeah.
So the fact that we even got it once, I think is great. But see, this is the thing, because that's the only source of continuity that they have. And obviously, they're still running with Wonder Woman. They're going to do a third one. You got to assume we got Aquaman 2 coming out. Assume that does great. Probably got a third one coming. Flash. Who knows what they could do with the Flash? They could either recast him, do some reshoots, recast him out the movie, and bring in another Barry Allen, or you get him out the movie, and then in some Flashpoint, something happens in Flashpoint where Wally West becomes the new Flash. He maybe comes from another multiverse. Like, let's just say, for example, he comes from a multiverse that's like dying, and then this universe needs another Flash, so he becomes the Flash for this universe, and we get Wally West Flash, and they kill off Barry Allen. So all your main pieces are coming from the Snyderverse. So I don't know how you then don't take the Snyder Cut into consideration, because it really fleshed out the characters, and now we know why Ray Fisher was so pissed.
Yep.
So, and the thing is, you know what I really think it is? I think if they rebuttal and they start pouring money back into the Snyderverse, it's just them admitting that they were wrong, and now they got to put more money into it.
But that's the
And
beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Discovery's picking it up. Doesn't matter about the past because those people were wrong. So if Discovery wants to drop money into it, there's no harm, no foul. You know, because the past that was wrong, and now they don't own it anymore. Now it's a Discovery, whole different aspect, whole different network, whole different everything. So sorry to cut you off, but go ahead.
no, that was perfect timing. So no, yeah, I agree. So now that you have that aspect, like they said, they know where the money's at. And this is what I was gonna say this before, when we're talking about Kevin Feige, who he could have left the MCU and went to the DCEU.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Marvel is the way they are now because of Kevin Feige. Don't get me wrong, but DC has to understand that, as far as, and Marvel's my favorite. If you had to make me pick between Marvel and DC, Marvel is my favorite. That's what got me to the dance. That's why I love comics. But DC has the best toys. You have Superman, who is the most popular and basically the first superhero. You have Batman. You have Wonder Woman. You have the most iconic of iconic pieces of property. And you wouldn't think it'd be this hard to get more Superman content, or to say, hey, let's build around Superman like they do in the comics, like DC has been doing literally forever, and then let's see where it takes us. Because that's literally all you have to do. Just
Yeah,
build around Superman, and it's like a magnet. It just draws in everything else.
I agree. 1,000,000%. I agree 1,000,000%. And that's apparently where Discovery's going. And yeah, Jesse said it best. DC is more real. It's more visceral. It's more grounded. Like, yeah, okay, Spider-Man's cool, but can I relate to him now that I'm a 36-year-old man? You know what I mean?
Mm.
No, yeah, well, maybe the older Spider-Man, but then again, he's a multi-millionaire or billionaire now in the comics. He owns a technology firm that rivals Stark Industries. does better than Stark Industries, and he's a superhero. Batman, yeah, multi-billionaire, but he's just a guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Um, Bringing the Green Lantern Corps, I 1,000,000% agree. We're supposed to be getting that buddy cop movie, which is supposed to have Guy Gardner and we don't know what other Lantern. I'm down with Kyle Rayner. I'm down with Hal Jordan. I'm down with John Stewart, which is we saw a glimpse of that with the Snyderverse, which we didn't get to see the actual cut with him in it because again they want to admit they're wrong and they don't want to give him the budget to throw it in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, bring on the Blackest Night. I agree.
yeah,
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit the other day when we saw each other. Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to be doing the Green Lantern show for HBO Max.
yeah, it's a buddy
And
for show.
so that's a buddy cop show. Okay, I thought they were doing a spinoff. So, I mean, yeah, if you're doing a buddy cop show for Green Lanterns, you said Guy Gardner's confirmed.
Guy Gardner was from the first time I've heard about it. It's always been Guy Gardner. So
I mean, unless we see him ride around with different lanterns every episode, or
that'd be cool. Like a flavor of the week, villain of the week type deal. That'd be cool.
because I'm not gonna lie, like if they had to pick one, I would love to see Guy Gardner ride around with Kilowog, see how that goes.
Damn, that's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I'd pay to see that. That'd be a nice, interesting relationship. But yeah, if we did like a flavor of the week every week, you throw some Hal Jordan, some John Stewart, some Kyle Rayner, show off the different lanterns and their personality, and just explain more about the core. Like
Yep.
the Green Lantern core is so cool.
It's
and
vast.
it's so vast. I mean, it spreads you across the whole galaxy. Like that opens up so much for DC. Like DC hasn't even begun to scratch the surface of the properties that they have and what they can do.
Yep.
So we'll see where it goes in the future.
Or even an animated one. Yeah, like Emerald Knights. That was a good thing. But yeah.
They just released an animated movie, or releasing an animated movie for John Stewart.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm trying to watch.
Been everybody's visual lantern for the last almost 2 decades. Almost 20 years now. It's like 16 years or something. Or a little bit more than that. If you think about it.
This is John Stewart.
John Stewart, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
especially us that grew up watching Justice League Unlimited and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. What's next on the docket?
Next, we got. Well, I think that's everything. So,
I'll answer that question with Jesse then. Who is our favorite lantern? Yours is John Stewart. You talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's is Kyle Rayner. Then Hal Jordan.
Yeah, I would say John Stewart, then Hal Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is John Stewart yours?
Well, like I said, it's just what I grew up with. Like, he was basically, before I started getting into comics, he was my first Green Lantern. He was my, so you obviously, before you dig into the world, that's all you know. So I just think John Stewart's the only Green Lantern. And then you find out that there's other Green Lanterns and stuff like that. But John Stewart just always, I guess, symbolized what it meant, for me anyway, to be Green Lantern, to have that power of will, and him being from the Marine Corps has always been a cool backstory, and how he like kind of intermingles those two worlds. And I don't know, like I like Kyle because he's like quippy and he doesn't take stuff serious, but I kind of like that John is opposite. I like that John is more precise and he's more like militarized and he's more like
they're both military men.
They're both military,
so, yeah.
but you see it more with John than you do Hal. And I guess because they're different, they're different parts of the...
Well, Hal Jordan's a rogue. He's technically the man without fear, being DC's continuity of it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, he was an Indigo tribesman. Yep. But yeah, I could see that. I could see why you like. They both have structured backstories. They have a structured lifestyle. One's a little bit more wilder, whereas in the other one's more focused on the task at hand. So yeah, I can see your choices and why you chose them. Yeah,
So how about you and Kyle Rayner?
Kyle Rayner, hands down, he's an artist. He thinks it, it comes up.
That's a good point.
Several times you'll see him. Well, on that same note, though, John Stewart's an architect, and you see it whenever he does things like you'll see the architectural plan, boop, pop up, the blueprint, boom, 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 everything comes into play, boom, 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 bam. Whereas in Kyle Rayner, he's a comic book artist, so his brain's everywhere, but he can literally, boop, missile launcher, boop, shield, boop. There's nothing. It's his imagination takes a hold, and then Kyle Rayner's also beyond. He's also been Ion. You know what I mean? He
Mhm.
is so. Whereas, and Jesse just said it, Hal Jordan is the Emerald Knight. Hal Rayner is the pure Lantern. He's everything. He's taken the helm of the White Lantern, which is all of the lanterns put into one.
Yeah.
He's a living battery, yeah. So, technically speaking, so is Guy Gardner. But yeah, Kyle Rayner is the living battery. He is the heart of the Lantern Corps now. So, and he's never really been, swayed. Whereas in like, I like Hal Jordan because there's a human element to him. You know, he
Mhm.
he's fallen, he's gotten back up, he's rebirthed into the DC universe. He was Parallax, you know,
Yep.
but you know, it's just Hal Jordan being human and being as reckless as he is and not as calculated puts him on the same level as Guy Gardner for me. As in like the recklessness, the craziness, all that other stuff. Where Kyle Rayner, he might be scattered and crazy, but he's grounded
Mhm.
and he's the strength. He's the hope for the Green Lantern Corps. He's the unwavering. You know what I mean? And let's be real here. Kyle Rayner has the coolest mask out of all of them.
Yeah. See, I like that. See, that's another thing. I like that John doesn't wear a mask.
Yeah, but that also puts everybody he loves at risk.
Well, I don't know why. Like, I like just him showing just his, because other lanterns do that. There's some other lanterns that do that. Not all of them, wear some form of facial protection, but I don't know. I've always liked that. And he has just like the glowing green eyes. I don't know. I like the aesthetic. I always found it cool.
And we didn't even touch into any other lanterns right now, which is funny, except for Kilowog, which we just grazed, and Guy right now, which we also just grazed. But there's several others. There's Ramirez, there's a few others. And we'll maybe do just a podcast one day of just Green Lanterns. You and I just going back and forth on who's the most powerful, which one is what, although I believe, and I stand by the comics, Hal's the most powerful, essentially.
Yeah.
So, or some would argue vice versa. But it would be a pretty cool, yeah, Lantern Wars. We can go do that, so.
Also do that with the Speed Force too. All those speedsters.
Yeah. We could even do that with Batman, technically speaking.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. So that's something for food for thought with you guys. You guys listen in the comments below on YouTube and here on Instagram. We've pretty much had a back and forth with everybody that's joined in. So I'm very, very happy of who's joined us today. Thanks for being engaging. Make sure that you keep us on our toes as well. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll bring you guys into the podcast as well, virtually.
For sure.
You know.
for sure.
But yeah, bro, I think we should do one more maybe this week or something if we can get Kenny. Kenny's right now. He's in Heroes Con in North Carolina, right? North Carolina.
Yeah, I think it's North Carolina.
And then Angel, which is son of a saint, he right now is working on a few projects, so he can't join us. But we're gonna probably have other names in here as well, other friends of ours, to give us a little bit of feedback back and forth. So
Yeah, I mean, we could shoot for maybe like try to do another week, maybe like next weekend. We'll see.
we can probably do next week, or if not during the week, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll post it on the IG. The guys once we figure out the schedule, so you guys know.
Yeah, Kenny Calderon, Wild Inks, with an
Yes.
not a K.
But
Yeah,
before we go, we have one last line of business to talk about. The honorable, the late, the great Tim Sale.
yeah. Tim Sale was a very, very big part of comics, especially Batman. It sucks because I've met him several times. He was a very nice gentleman. Um, a lot of sarcastic quips, really cool guy. And it's sad. I don't think we know what took him. It was an illness. It was an illness for sure. But earlier this week he passed away, and it just sucks, man. I had a lot of conversations with him. He was a very nice guy, and his work just spoke for itself. His most notable work, which was used recently in a lot of the movies, a lot of takes on it, which was The Long Halloween, Batman, Dark Victory, When in Rome. That's just naming the Batman aspect of things. Um, but yeah, just go ahead and look at his work whenever you guys get a chance. Read his take on things. He used to team up with Jeff Loeb quite a bit, and yeah, thoughts and prayers with his family.
Yeah, I agree. Thoughts and prayers there with his family, and we can't thank him enough for what he's done for the industry that we love and that we cover and that we read. And I mean, Batman Long Halloween is top 5, top 3 best Batman stories you've ever read, ever seen. So thoughts and prayers are definitely with his family because we missed a good one. We're missing a good one. So we hope everything goes well with his
Yeah,
family. That's all we can say. But
I believe
so
his wife is auctioning a bunch of his artwork right now. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but check his Instagram and his website, and you can actually see what's going on right now. Like if they're auctioning any of his artwork or whatever they might be doing for his passing as well. Um, but yeah, man, we lost a good one. So, bummer.
Tim Sale, you will be missed, and we
Yep.
do this podcast episode in honor of you, great sir.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well,
On that note,
that somber note, we will leave you guys until the next one. Probably next week. So stay tuned. We'll drop it in the story. We'll let you guys know.
yes, sir.
Have a good night, guys.
Later, guys. Have a good one.